Hello, everyone. October 26th, 11 a.m., our regularly scheduled weekly YouTube Live. Will the Canadian Startup Visa Program give you 100% guaranteed permanent residency for Canada? Better question yet, is anything in life guaranteed 100%? Okay, I'll even take 99 or 98%. But will this program give our clients 100% Canadian permanent residency? You need to know this before you sign up with us or anyone else for Canadian immigration. Today, we're going to do a deep dive into this question and expect nothing less than the exposed truth, just like the rest of our videos. Quick introduction. Who am I? I'm Reza from Immigration Canada, licensed immigration practitioner, and our office specializes in helping professional families move across borders. Yes, I may not have the typical outfit today to be a licensed immigration practitioner in Canada, but hey, sometimes you don't have time to look perfect, right? Is this what I do for a living? No, I'm not an actual full-time YouTuber, although some may claim so, but I work hands-on with our licensing, working on actual applications and communicating with the immigration department and overseas embassies on a daily basis, communicating on behalf of our clients and the clients of our B2B partners, which we're co-consulting on. Why are we posting this video? These are made for the purpose of sharing our hands-on immigration knowledge with a worldwide audience. And although YouTube may flick a few advertisements there, no, this is not to make money, advertisement money from YouTube videos. These are truly to share our knowledge and to create awareness. Because remember, folks, IRCC feeds off the fact that everything is so fragmented, so compartmentalized, and people don't talk to each other. And this is true for us sharing our knowledge with our audience, which may include existing clients, potential new applicants, and immigration consultants and agencies and legal services companies across the world. If you think about immigrating, we're here to help. Get a free email assessment for eligible applicants by filling out the form down below. And of course, if you're an active immigration practitioner, we can assist you with outsourcing your back office operations, such as assessments, actual application processing, and pre-post landing support. We are a global mobility solution provider. Here we go, folks. We're discussing the Canadian Startup Visa Program today and how certain it is for your Canadian permanent residency. A lot of people have received their Canadian permanent residency through this program. Some people have had issues with their startup visa co-founders and may not have had a pleasant ride. And folks, remember, we're going to come back to our YouTube audience today, questions and answers right after this. So although the program is not 100% PR guaranteed, because no program in the world, especially immigration, is 100% guaranteed. The startup visa program right now is hovering around the 75% approval rate. I will let you know why there's 25% of startups which fail, and then we will cover if startup visa is the right program for your Canadian immigration. If you play your cards right, which basically means you know what you're doing or have extensive experience with the startup visa program, you can be looking at much higher approval rates, 85, maybe even 90%. But here's the curveball. Neither me, any lawyer or consultant or business consultant or designated organization can guarantee this percentage for you. This is actually all up to you as the startup solo founder or co-founder to invest and get this business up and running. Even if I tell you that you seem to have 90% of approval potential for startup visa, but you don't perform the tasks required and follow our instructions, there cannot be a guarantee from any professional in this field for your startup visa success rate. Here's the top 25% of startups, why they fail. So the 25% that do fail, here's the top reasons in terms of the Canadian permanent residency application under the startup visa program. A, Essential co-founders withdraw from the group. For personal or professional reasons, co-founders will decide not to immigrate to Canada or decide to immigrate to another country due to reasons such as processing times and uncertainties with the Canadian Startup Visa program. So when that happens, an essential member withdraws, the whole group will be refused by default. Essential co-founders are refused due to misrepresentation or ineligibility. In many cases, they won't tell pertinent facts about their immigration history to other co-founders or even their legal representatives. So that creates misrep. And if an essential member is refused, the whole group, no matter what, is refused. I don't care if you're the CEO, CTO, CIO, whatever you are, you will be refused. Sometimes essential co-founders can be refused based on eligibility criteria, medical eligibility, admissibility, criminal admissibility, and of course, settlement funds, because everyone needs to have those settlement funds in their account for that processing time to go. And when IRCC comes and checks on you in about a year or two, whenever you have submitted your application, they're going to say, show us the last 6 months of your bank statements to prove to us that you have the minimum settlement funds. Plus, besides that, it's always good to have funds to prove that you're actually investing or planning to invest in your startup as well, besides settlement funds. Essential co-founders apply for another Canadian PR program maybe, and by default are withdrawn from the startup visa application if their other PR, maybe express entry, maybe PNP, maybe family sponsorship. So when that PR process before the startup visa application PR, they are withdrawn by default by IRCC, and hence the rest of the group, if the co-founder is essential, is refused by default, no matter what. And number 4, essential members' backgrounds and professional work experience and education do not match the startup visa concept. So you've got, manager in your startup which has been in the farm industry, agriculture, and then you're doing a bunch of IT guys doing software as a service in something unrelated, maybe retail. These are things that are red flags and will put you at risk and potential refusal for your startup. Number 5, the startup visa of co-founders, the startup visa group of co-founders have not done any activity or investment since they had received a letter of support. They have nothing to show as their true intentions to operate and manage this business in Canada. They were not proactive, and hence they will be on the chopping block. And the IRCC officer will mention that these are artificial transactions in order to gain immigration status. They just say status, but it's just basically you're trying to get your PR and you're not interested in anything else. You may notice that a lot of these factors are based on other group members in your startup group, such as co-founders. Solo founders, funny enough, will have way less problems and risks in terms of startup visa challenges if they are put into a group with people they don't know. Remember, folks, we're always posting about these key details of IRCC's business programs and startup visa and other immigration solutions and potential options for professionals and entrepreneurs. And if that's what you're looking for, well, you can subscribe to our YouTube channel for more deep dive videos. Now, this was the ugly part of startup visa. Now let's look at the more brighter side. Which Canadian startup visa groups are accepted? Well, 1, all co-founders meet the eligibility criteria such as settlement funds, language score, and admissibility criteria, right? Such as criminality, and medical checks. Okay? All co-founders have proof of their proactive and critical role in the startup business, right? That's very important, and it will be requested by IRCC when they start processing your startup visa PR application, which could be about a year plus minus a few months after you've submitted. And we're not talking about the backlog since 2020, 2021, but we're talking about the newer applications. Number 3, the startup business has made business progress in terms of product solution development, business and market development, participation at startups, at industry events such as exhibitions and conferences with your startup brand, raising money from external investment institutions, potential partners and or customers, and has clear documentation under significant benefit for Canada, such as hiring local Canadian staff. So that aligns with your true intention. You're starting your operations in Canada, you're hiring staff, you're investing money to get progress with your startup. The startup business has put into place key factors to move and manage the business inside Canada. This is important. This is a key indicator that many groups and consultants miss. What has been put into place for you to establish this business in Canada? If you're a manufacturer or planning to be a manufacturer and you haven't done your site research, where are you going to set up? Have you started negotiating with key stakeholders, warehouses, production sites, maybe co-production sites, licensing, permits? Have you done any of that, or is it all business plan fluff? Number 5, regular reporting to IRCC and your designated organization on your progress and achieved business milestones. Now, I'm not talking about obtaining a letter of support and a business plan. I'm talking about every 6 months reporting to IRCC on what you've done in terms of your business, not immigration, and every quarter, if not more frequent, with your designated organization. You should be in touch regularly and pushing them to support you, pushing them for more info, pushing them to challenge you, pushing them to allow you to network inside Canada through their existing organic network of industry and subject matter experts that are related to your startup. In conclusion, there's 2 groups of startup visa applicants. Groups which know what they're doing, follow instructions, have experience in this, or somebody on their side with experience to guide them through the entire 1.5 up to 2 year process. And then there's groups which are clueless and are at risk of being terminated by specific IRCC officers. Nothing in life, folks, is 100%. Not even my internet connection or my hairstyle for the day or what you'll eat for breakfast tomorrow or morning, right? Or what the tax man wants from you in 6 months, or even if your flight is departing on time, and we know that never happens. How can anyone in this world guarantee 100% approval for any immigration program anywhere in the world? What I can guarantee you is that 100% of startup visa applicants believe they will be approved for their IRCC permanent residency, but some will be disappointed and some will be successful. Who's supporting your startup visa application and business? And in which group will you fall under? If you like immigration hacks, creative immigration solutions, or key analysis and the exposed truth about immigration policies and updates, then you can click on the subscribe button for our YouTube channel to let you know when we're live answering questions like today, or when we release new videos about updated programs and key changes that actually affect you. So we don't talk about the stuff that won't affect you or is not going to create any implications for your immigration path. We concentrate on business persons, investors, and professionals and entrepreneurs. That's our focus. If you're thinking about immigrating, whether permanently or temporarily, you're at the right place. We just don't offer immigration. We offer solutions. I can guarantee only one point. You'll know what to expect. The entire process clearly laid out for you, and all the risks identified, including costs, like the video we did today. Our legal agreements are based on payment milestones, which are linked directly to application progression. Excuse my French there. We do not take 100% advance payment for business immigration applicants. We have $1 million liability insurance, which protects you and us from fraud or mistakes, as well as a dedicated client trust account with our Canadian banks. Our team speaks over 9 languages, and we've helped applicants from 50 different countries, and I'm not kidding. Click the link below this video and get a free email assessment for eligible applicants only. I'm the one, remember folks, I'm the one that makes sure you don't need a lawyer to apply for federal court for judicial review if you're refused, right? If you want to apply once and get the results and not waste time and money, that's our expertise. If you want to go and not do that, that's not our expertise, obviously. If you're ready to apply, you want a one-on-one session with me or any of my colleagues, of course, you can use the consultation link below this video in the description of this video to book. And of course, if you're wondering, why should I book a consultation? I don't even know what you know. I don't know if you're the right fit. Well, that's fine. Take our immigration knowledge for a test drive in our YouTube Live, which is every Thursday, 11 a.m. North America Eastern Standard Time. And that's where we answer all of your immigration questions for free. And yes, we're on our YouTube Live today. We're here. We're going to answer all your questions, folks. We're going to look at the YouTube comments and questions right away. And remember, we will be back next Thursday too. There's a lot of questions. Okay, Abdul Rahman Salot. Hi, Reza. Hello, Abdul Rahman. So we're going to go one by one, folks. A little bit of patience on your side. And if you have no clue what I'm doing, I'm reading the comments and questions in the YouTube chat box. You have a question, say it. If you have a comment, say it. As long as it's not rude, I will announce it. Abdul Rahman said, my friend had positive LMI for position of cook and applied for a work permit. He had a bachelor's degree in commerce and 2 years diploma in hotel management. Both credentials are certified by West. He had 6.5 in IELTS, $15,000 sat in gold and cash, $20,000 investment in funds, which is mentioned in the CA certificate, the Chartered Accountant certificate. 4 years of work with as head chef in an Indian restaurant. Abdul Rahman, and still the work permit was rejected by IRCC, and reasons was you were not able to demonstrate you will be able to adequately perform the work you seek to do. Abdul says Abdul Rahman and her wife open spousal work under IMP was rejected by IRCC, and reason was purpose of visit was not consistent, and you will not leave Canada. And work permit duration was 3 years. Okay, Abdul Rahman. So a few things. A, you need the refusal notes. Okay. 2, it sounds like if it's true, like what you're saying, they had their IELTS, they had provided proof of pay stubs, employment reference documents, contract, that they worked as a chef, then and they had some funds to support themselves, there's no reason why it should be refused. So A, you take the refusal notes, you take it to judicial review, federal court, or B, you reapply. And I'm just assuming there's nothing wrong with those documentations that your friend has provided. The spousal open work permit will be refused if the main applicant is refused. That's just by default. Ritesh William. Hi, Reza. Hello, Ritesh. Thanks for joining us today. Faisal Nasser. Hello. Can I ask you? Yeah, sure, Faisal. That's why we're here on YouTube Live. Safa Salah. Hey, Safa. How are you? Reza. Hi, Reza. All the founders in the SUV program receive medical exams. Is this positive indication and last step before approval? No. If you don't have your IRCC request letter yet, Safa, where they've asked you about your business incorporation, business plan, and maybe a business update, then this is just the beginning. This is not the end. Rosita says, hello, Reza June. Hello back, Rosita. Faisal Nasser, I did an interview and I passed, but they're asking me for a new medical test. And I did. I'm still waiting background check. Advice, please. Well, Faisal, I'm not sure what you were interviewed for. And you did a medical because perhaps the previous medical, there was some issues they were concerned about, or 2, it expired. But other than that, it depends what program you're applying for, what region you're in, what embassy or processing center you're dealing with. Zubair Shafi. Hi, Reza. Quick question. Can a newly permanent resident holder without a job sponsor, okay, I'm going to redo the question. Hi, Reza, quick question. Can a newly permanent resident holder without a job sponsor, his or her spouse, and without proof of funds, can none of the PR holders get married after receiving the PR? Okay, so you're asking basically, somebody just got their PR, can they sponsor a spouse or common law? And they don't have a job and not much proof. So although it's not required, it is always positive to show that you're economically established or you're planning to as a sponsor. It is not required if you live outside of Quebec in the spousal sponsorship to show, that you're employed, but you cannot be on, social welfare for specific categories. And it's always good to show what you have. Maybe you have an apartment, maybe you don't have proof of that, but you have an apartment that you own, maybe, right? Or you have some other income. So try to show as much as possible. Try to show the intention. Maybe you're getting a job. But the key is they also want to know that the spouse won't come, or common law, and you're both stuck on government support. Faisal, but it doesn't mean you're ineligible. Faisal, I also received pre-arrival letter. Okay. I'm assuming you are talking about which program. Rosita says, Rahman says hello too. Hello back to you, Mr. Amir Rahman. Safa Saleh says, one of our founders received medical exam before biomedical. Is that common? Yeah, it can be in any order, Safa. Don't read too much into how IRCC processes it in what order. It's just a mess. Ritesh William, as I mentioned earlier from my SUV PR, after 1 year of submission, I received a letter from IRCC that my application is returned. I resubmitted again my document on 23rd August. When can I expect acknowledgement? It may take up to 6 months, Ritesh. How much time it takes to receive a PR after receiving AOR? It can take anywhere from 1.5 years to 2 years. Sometimes, well, I've never seen it below 1.5 years to actually get the PR confirmation of PR. To actually get the confirmation of a PR card, it may take up even longer. Safa Saleh says, how many months after medical that IRCC calls for the passport? So they're not doing the passport. So you got to go through the IRCC request process first, Safa, right? So it's not like, oh, medical, biometrics, and then passport request. There's a long road ahead. Now you're skipping like many steps here. Nashvan, hi Reza, would IRCC request a proof of settlement funds 1 to 2 years post PR application if the applicant is on an SUV specific permit for 3 years? Would IRCC request a proof of settlement funds 1 to 2 years post PR if the applicant is on an SUV? Yeah, that's standard. It's part of the PR application, Nashvan Ali. That's just part of the eligibility criteria. It doesn't matter if you're here with a work permit, you don't have a work permit, you're here, you're out. PR applications require for startup visa minimum settlement funds according to your family size. Zubair Shafi, SUV PR application submitted on August 2022, got our application e-number on September 2022, and now we have received a medical request and founders. What's to expect next? How soon can we expect a decision? There will be no decision issued. There will just be request letters in the next 1 or 2 months, Zubair, potentially. You will respond to them. That could go on for 1 round, 2 rounds, and then you will see a pre-arrival letter, which means that the officer has passed you on to the PR processing division. So it may take 2 months, 3 months, 4 months. It really depends on if the IRCC officers satisfied with your responses. Nashvan Ali, how long time would it take IRCC to give the final decision after checking the medical exams and mark them as passed? I'm not sure if it's startup visa. Again, you're skipping a lot of steps here. So folks, please don't skip steps in startup visa. The IRCC requests updates about your personal information and all that can also come right after that. Jose Ramon, hi Reza, thanks for your videos, fantastic job. Applied for startup visa and received temporary application number in July 2021. I haven't heard anything from IRCC. When do you think I should receive it? You should already be receiving it, Jose. Please send a communication message online to IRCC stating that you have not received your permanent file number and you've been waiting since July 2021, okay? Because right now they're processing 2022s. So you're kind of stuck or you were forgotten. So you need to push on them. Send a message. Nashwan Ali, how many times would IRCC contact the applicant after receiving the permanent PR number? And what is the timeline between these communications? The IRCC can have multiple touch points. There's no limit. So it could be 1, could be 2, could be up to 4 or 5. We've seen all of them. And then the permanent, yeah. And it may take 1 to 3 months and from the time you get your permanent file number for them to start asking questions. It depends on the number of co-founders you have and how clear everything is. But yeah, that timeline of touch points with the IRCC officers can also take anywhere from 1 month to 6 months. And we've seen this. I'm not talking just out of thin air here. Fahime Rafai, sorry, if I'm pronouncing it wrong again. You got to remind me. Good morning, Reza. Good morning to you, Fahima. Nashvan Ali, would IRCC contact the incubator agency after completing the incubator program? Of course they would. That's part of the process, Nashvan. They will sometimes request a recommitment from the designated organization, commitment certificate, an updated commitment certificate. So yeah, they are in touch and they will ping your designated organization under the startup visa program. Zubair Shafi, are the startup visa applicants already being prioritized who have received the investor funding? If not, when does the IRCC intend to do so? They should, but they haven't, Zubair. We hope that they will do it in 2024. It's a wild card. They announce stuff, they don't implement it, which is crazy. Abdul Rahman Salah, how many times IRCC is taking to send GCMS notes after the ATIP request? It can be an average 40 days, Abdul. Take a look at the video we released this week, or we're releasing it, I think, in the next today or tomorrow, on processing times. Zubair Shafi, what is the status of the open work permit startup visa program? Is it likely to happen by the end of this year? Zubair, this is a huge question. This is the $1 million question that many people are now wondering. Will they actually implement it? Because as I said in my other videos, we're seeing 3-year closed work permits, not open. And it was always a conflicting concept, an open work permit for startup visa. So I think my theory is, and I told you guys this before, that the minister read the script wrong. And based on his announcement, they published it on the IRCC website. I don't know, must have been a blooper. That's what I'm thinking. Because you know what? If they don't implement it in the next 3 months, that's a joke. And the whole program, I mean, the fact that open work permit for startup visa, it's kind of weird. Okay. So let's see who's got questions. What is this? Jose Ramon, if I send a paper application, can I still avoid the terminators and be processed anywhere in Canada besides Sydney? Jose, no, unfortunately. First of all, I guess you applied on paper. Yeah, but no, you can't avoid it. It all actually went to Sydney for paper. Mir Anwar, hi Reza. Hello, Mir. I think we've seen each other before on YouTube Live. So Mir says, if all the members of the startup already have a visitor visa to Canada and have been visiting Canada to participate in the business related, will it help for the open work permit or PR? Yes, it will help. But again, open the bank account, fund it, maybe set up an office operations, start hiring. These are things that are really make an effort, and find customers, distribution partners, research on licensing permits. All these sort of things are critical or paramount. Kunal, hello Reza, I would like to know if it's possible to set up a corporation under my name from outside Canada. Of course, we do it all the time for our clients. Very easy, straightforward. Zubair Shafi, hi Reza, can you provide some overview on goods to follow in terms of declaration of net worth after getting the PR? Does it require any third-party evaluation? Are there any timelines attached to this? No, there's no. So it's a loaded question. Good question, though, Zubair. So goods to follow. So you've filled out the customs form, that what you've brought with you and what's supposed to come with you later, right? You cannot declare assets in that. So if you've got fixed assets or bank accounts like money or investments, that's on the CRA declaration form for overseas assets and income. In terms of the goods that are coming with you, if you need a third-party evaluation, it will be mainly with jewelry, right? Art, antiques, right? If it's like a car or a boat, it's pretty, or furniture, something that's maybe not of super high value, you don't need it. Timelines, there's really no timeline. You have to keep that landing paper and the customs form forever, because one day, if you're even taking something back of, let's say, a nice fancy watch, and an officer at CBSA said, hey, where did you get that watch from? Like, well, I declared it when I arrived here like 3 years ago, 5. They're like, well, prove it to us, right? So just to be safe. Nashwan Ali, when checking startup visa PR applications, some applicants in the same startup visa group see their background check is under process and others show not applicable. What does not applicable mean? Not applicable means there's not enough info to report it on their system. So their system is sort of automated. So if they can't pick up the data, if it's missing, that's what it's going to show. My opinions, which is the name of the person asking this question. Interesting question. Hello, Raza. I hope you're doing well. What cost-effective PR options do men above 55 have? Federal skilled worker, PNP seem very difficult. SUV seems very expensive. Is there any option? So basically, depending my opinion, if you're not from a visa exempt country, then you've got to be either investing or be hired. Okay, because if you're over 55 and you don't have enough points, you can actually invest in a business that will sponsor you, right? So you're buying minority or majority equity. It's kind of like a startup visa work permit where you issue yourself a job offer, or you're buying or starting a business. But again, if it's costly and you can't invest, you don't have a lot of options. If you're not from a visa exempt country, you either need to invest or be hired. If you're over 55, you don't have enough points. Nashwan Ali, would IRCC request progress reports from all applicants or only from the essential applicants? Well, the interesting thing is, a lot of people say it's just from the main applicants or the CEO. It's true, but I've seen cases where in the third or fourth round, they've asked everyone. It's a thing. Technically, they only ask one or two people in the group, essentials, CEOs thing. But I've seen cases where they've asked everyone, but not in the first round, in the fourth round. So, yeah. So in general, they only ask essential members who are maybe CEO level, the chief executive or COO, the main figures. But there are some exceptions, but 90% of the time, that's what it was, not the exception. Abdul Rahman Salah, does my RCIC consultant and paralegal whom I had appointed her as authorized representative application, she still need any consent from me requesting GCMS notes? Yes, it's a separate consent. The ATIP request, Access to Information and Privacy Act. Kunal Haraza, with an owner-operator LMI work permit, can I get a work permit under my name and start working as a connector with multiple employers? If you get a work permit under owner-operator, you can run your business, and through that business, you can do contracts to do work through that business because you're working only for your business. My opinions, that's the name of the person asking this question. If any of the startup visa group members are inadmissible due to medical reasons or any other reasons, how does it impact the other group members? If they're essential, the whole group will be refused by default no matter what. I don't care if Bill Gates, Steve Jobs, Elon Musk is in your startup group. IRCC is IRCC, black and white. You're either ineligible or eligible. You're either admissible or inadmissible. That's the key. JTRCF channel Dubai Can. Hello, Reza. Good evening. Good evening, JTRCF. Nice to see you. Ritesh William. Thanks, Reza, for your reply. Doing a wonderful work and providing guidance and your experience. God bless you and try to see you on personal note someday. Thank you very much, Ritesh. Appreciate the positive feedback, positive energy. Kunal, if I'm under the owner-operator LMI, since I'm a contractor, can I work under any NOC code? No, the LMI owner-operator will have a specific NOC code. You cannot have an LMI without a NOC code. And the work permit linked to the LMI will be that NOC code as well. There are no exceptions, no workarounds, unless you're in an open work permit, which means you don't have an LMI. Samvir Kumar, almost 6 months of biometrics, still waiting for medical, no update from IRCC under startup visa application. Startup visa, again, you got to look at the big picture timeline. Don't look at micro steps, folks. Look at the big picture. Same Alameri, hi Rez, I just did my biometrics for the startup visa. How much more time till I get the PR? If you went through the IRCC request process of updates about your personal information, your business plan, incorporation, and business progress, then you have a short timeline left. But if you haven't, then you're just at the beginning of the process or the review. Zubair Shafi, is there any exit entry required for startup visa applicant under dependents who are already in Canada after receiving their PR? No, not required. Shahzad Gul Mohammed. How much time expected in SUV from letter of support to get to PR? 1.5 to 2 years. Gustavo Henry. Hello, Reza. How are the times for SUV if I'm applying from Mexico? And how much money will I need for the whole process? Gustavo, you will need minimum settlement funds. You will need to pay your designated organization if it's a paid designated organization. You will need to pay your Canadian PR application fee. And you need investment funds to make progress in your business, right? You're planning to invest. Don't forget, folks, this is an economic business immigration program. It's not skilled immigration. It's not family sponsorship. It's not education. It's an economic program which is based on business immigration. So investment funds, settlement funds, incubator funds, government, PR or work permit application fees. Those are the bare minimum of what you need, Gustavo. And the timings, it can take about 1.5 to maximum 2 years, but 1.5 is a good benchmark, plus minus 3 months. And Mexico is good. If you need any help, let us know. Mir Anwar, in SUV case, say there's 4 members. If it's necessarily desires for all of them to be essential workers, or say only 1 or 2, there's no need to have all of them essential. You only need 1 essential. You cannot have a startup group without any essential members. You need 1 essential minimum. The rest is optional. You can have 2. You can have all of them, right? Depending on the number of group members you have. It's a very good question, Mira. And I haven't answered that type of question for a while, so I enjoyed that question. Thank you. Shreyank Amartya. There are third-party agencies which provide startup venture building services, like building products for an idea, progress reporting for hefty fees. What do you think about hiring such services? Shreyank, it's a gray area, okay? And I'll give you my personal opinion on this. There are, agencies that can do the whole thing turnkey. I don't recommend it. I recommend the co-founders to be a little bit hands-on, obviously, for IRCC purposes. But the key is you should be picking the contractors. You can sign and outsource and contract. So if you're a CEO or CEO or a co-founder and you don't know how to do software development, well, of course, you're going to contract it out, right? Any business owner will, right? But managing the whole thing, outsourcing, it's a little bit so-so. But of course, you can contract out 10 different things to 10 different contractors, marketing agencies, software development agencies, hardware development, research, all that. So I am completely in agreement of outsourcing, contracting out to get progress, and even getting help on progress reports in immigration, because, those are a little bit more niche, expertise is required. But like managing the whole startup A to Z and the co-founder is not involved or not even in meeting those agencies, yeah, that's definitely not what we're looking for. Zubair Shafi, working hard to achieve our revenue, but have not matched the numbers as outlined in our business plan. Do we need to update the business plan, or is it expected and understood by IRCC? Zubair, if you have revenues and it's legitimate and you have proof and supporting documentation, and if it's inside Canada or North America, you are golden. I don't care if it's $10,000, but in the business plan it shows $100,000 plan. If you've started to find customers, you are ahead of 99% of the rest of the startup visa applicants and groups. So good for you if it's real, revenue. Sonny Sunil, 59. Hi, good morning. If one is on visitor visa, can he do business activity like formation of companies, sell goods? Okay. You cannot work, but you can invest. Okay, Sunil? Sonny Sunil. You can invest, you can incorporate, you can sign checks, make payments, but you cannot manage, work, sell, right? Unless you're hired by an overseas entity, you're coming here for business purposes to do selling and market development on a temporary basis. But if you're starting a business and managing it and working on your own business, no, you cannot do that with a visitor visa. But of course, you can incorporate a business in Canada even while you're inside or outside of Canada. You can invest, you can fund, you can buy real estate. I mean, specific real estate, there's a lot of exceptions. Commercial property, non-residential, if you don't have a work permit, but if you do, of course, that's allowed. But again, be careful, Sonny. Abdul Rahman, my RCIC consultant and paralegal sent me a refusal letter yesterday, but on my status tracker account, my application status is still showing in progress and haven't updated since last October. That's fine. Sometimes that system is older. Like you'll get the decision, and that one sometimes could be glitchy. And no update in the activity tab also still showing the same message. Yeah, don't trust IRCC's backend IT platforms, folks. Okay, the processing times online, I don't trust them. The IT tracker, the status tracker and all that, I don't trust it. Right? You've got to know from experience what's happening. So Abdul Rahman, I believe the refusal letter, although I haven't seen it, you should technically trust your legal rep. If you don't trust them, then they shouldn't be your legal rep. But the online system sometimes is glitchy and doesn't update. Shahzad Gul Muhammad. In SUV, after the letter of support, so in startup visa after the letter of support, with an open work permit, I'm moving to Canada. Are the children going to university considered as domestic students or international students with tuition fee requirements? Shahzad, force a university and college, post-secondary, it was always paid. Now, the question you're asking is, will it be Canadian tuition or will it be business tuition? International tuition. If you're on an open work permit, which startup visa is not issuing right now, as per October 26, 2023, you will pay international student fee. As of today, startup visa applicants, as of today, tomorrow could change, are receiving closed work permits. With closed work permits, participating universities and colleges will offer Canadian tuition to your dependent children who want to study in college or university. Again, a lot of footnotes, a lot of fine print. Participating universities: University of British Columbia, University of Toronto, Metropolitan University of Toronto, York University, George Brown College, Seneca College, and so forth. Closed work permit, not open. And in that province. Gustavo Henry, how long does it take for the designated organization to give the LOS? So I have designated organizations that can issue it in a couple of weeks and sometimes even 2. And I have ones that take 3-4 months and anything in between. Okay. That's a big question. B Master Production. Can I open a nonprofit organization and run it? Seek for funds with activities like a research and live in Canada. You could set up a nonprofit, but the immigration would be a separate issue. The nonprofit could provide significant cultural social benefit for Canada, maybe, and you could apply for work permit under that. But again, you've got to fit into a specific immigration program. B Master Production. Shahzad Gul Mohammed. If one member of the SUV group, after getting the letter, gets involved in another Canadian immigration program, can it affect PR process of other members? Yes. If that member of your startup visa group is an essential member and they are PR and they apply for a PR under a different program, maybe through their dependent, maybe through spouse or common law, then please close the door. Then what will happen is that if they're essential, all the essential members, all the group members will be refused in the startup visa group. Okay, that's going to be very important. So Shahzad, again, if they're applying for PR and their PR before startup visa is processed in the other program and they're an essential member, the whole group, no matter what, will be refused. Okay, if there's the rest of the team members are essential or non-essential. Zubair Shafi, we're building on opportunities. Okay, we are building opportunities to pivot our startup. Obviously, our product is in its final stages. However, our revenue generation is from consultation services in the same business domain. Is that okay? So consultations are not considered scalable or innovative. So Zubair, what you have to do is package it into your product somehow. Okay. Yeah, so a lot of startups will not have the product or service platform operational yet, but you can, on your invoices and everything, make sure that the client is subscribing to your service. And yeah, there's some portion that you'll do manually, but on paper, make sure it it looks like they're subscribing to your service. Manual consultations are not really what Startup Visa is looking for, IRCC. Aderonke Catherine, hello. I was refused twice to visit my friend, now my husband. We got married this year in Mexico, but we're from Nigeria. Is there any issue about this? You just have to apply for spousal sponsorship at the Ronke if you already have, and then apply for visitor visa. There's no guarantee, as you know, that the visitor visa will be approved, but you have to have a spousal sponsorship in play to increase your chance of visitor visa. Gustavo, can't thank you enough, Reza. Thank you, Gustavo, for the positive feedback. Zubair Shafi, are there any added benefits of an MSP plan after getting PR, like free medication, or remains the same? Zubair, you will have whatchamacallit. Yeah, each province has their own medical coverage. If you're a senior citizen, prescriptions are included. If not, prescriptions come out of pocket, or you would have to have some additional insurance. There's a lot of benefits, being eligible to become eventually a Canadian citizen. It's not bad. Or you can just go and buy a passport from, I don't know, another country for a more expensive price, and it won't give you even any of these benefits. Mira Anvar, say a startup is doing some progress in Canada, and besides hiring some employees, it engages in resources on sweat equity deferred payments. Would that count towards progress? Yes, as long as there's actual progress. Giving sweat equity or deferred payments to people just randomly who are not doing anything, of course, is useless. But I understand your question, Mira, and if that's what you're aiming for, yeah. As long as they don't own 50% or more of the startup, you guys as the startup, or own more than 50% controlling share rights of the startup, and then you give equity to other people who are working, and they can actually show what they're doing. And of course, you're not just going to give it to them up front, right? You're a smart business person. You're going to say, do all this. If you hit these targets, you can gain that sweat equity. Sahil Malik. Okay, I got a couple of other questions, actually. Okay, I missed a few. Sorry. B Master Production. I'm a music producer. Can I start up my music production studio in Canada and run it like a business with other music essentials to stand as a music production house? Yes, it's possible. We just have to structure it within the right immigration program based on your nationality, immigration history, work history, your ability in terms of eligibility, admissibility. And of course, everything is possible, folks. Everything is possible. You just need to know how to tweak it, how to design it, right? Mir Anwar, can an essential or other members of the startup visa applicant can start or participate in another startup visa application? No. If they do, one of the groups will blow up. Not a good idea. You can invest in other businesses, start other businesses, but having two startup visa applications and you're a co-founder in two, you can be a shareholder in another one. But again, be careful, folks. You're playing with fire. Sahil Malik, I have got my permanent file number in the startup visa. How long will it take for PR and got my biometric request this month? How long for my PR? It can take anywhere from 6 to 12 months, Sahil. So don't hold your breath. Aderonke Catherine, thank you very much. No problem, Aderonke. Abdul Rahman Salat. Reza, I'm telling you this again. If in the future, whenever I will be in Canada for my PR process, 1000% sure I will be my representative for that, inshallah. Hopefully, Abdullah, you don't have to hire us. We're here to help in our YouTube live. I cannot answer everyone's questions when they email us. So FYI, everyone. That's why we're here every Thursday answering your questions live, much better than email. And again, there's many good immigration practitioners and lawyers. So Abdul Rahman, as long as they're doing their job and you get your PR, that's what's important. Whether you hire us or anyone else, that's secondary. Hayat Khan, hello Reza, good morning. Hello Hayat Khan, good to see you. Sony Sunil, thank you. No problem. Sony Sunil 59. Abdul Rahman, I'm putting my file in reconsideration. Okay. I guess you're talking about, yeah, the refusal. Hayat Khan, thank you. Thank you. Shahzad, Gul Mohammed. In SUV, after getting PR, if one dependent child who's studying outside Canada and cannot complete the 1,095 days or 730 days, what are the options left for such a situation to get the Canadian passport? So they can't, Shahzad. So citizenship is not passed on to existing dependents. Future dependents, yes, if you're a citizen, they will be a citizen no matter where they are, where they were born. Okay, but for eligibility to move from PR to citizenship, every member of the family, no matter if it's you, spouse, common law, children, 6 months old, 12 years old, 17, 20, everyone has to meet their own eligibility. They have to come back and meet the eligibility. Abdul Rahman Salat, now the IRCC appointed for me is of my employer and I have to bear her. Yeah, I mean, sometimes we have to bear these people, right, Abdul? I've gone through that experience. Don't worry. Hayat Khan, thanks, Reza. Thank you, Hayat Khan. Aderonke Catherine, please, how can I consult you? Aderonke, you can reach out to our office, right? If you need help, you can hire our office. We can also do consultations. But again, maybe we're out of your budget, maybe we're not. You got to go onto our website, check out our e-store for consultations, and also you can reach out through our website contact form and let us know what you're interested in. We will get back to you. Okay. Be Master Production. If I have to start up my music production studio, how much would I have in my account as a sole proprietor due to demand of Canada and law? How long is the waiting time from when I apply from outside? It depends. So you could be waiting anywhere from 2 to 6 months, depending on where you're applying from, Be Master Production. In terms of funds, well, you need to be showing good funds if you want to start your own music production or any kind of business as an investor. And again, your nationality will play a key role because there are bilateral agreements in place with other countries in Canada that allow easier mobility. And there's countries where you don't have bilateral agreements. So it all comes down to social, cultural, or economic benefit that you will bring to Canada. And if you can't prove it, then, and based on your profile and immigration history, it could work, it could not work. Folks, I hope I've answered all your questions. We're coming to the end of our YouTube live session today, October 26, 2028. We're going to pass and go to the next YouTube session for next Thursday live. And I'll be traveling, but we will be doing the live. You can come on board. We can answer all of your questions and guide you in the right direction. Remember, everything is out there. You just need to know where to look, how to find, and how to utilize it and design it for your immigration path. There is no such information that is proprietary or that I will only know or any other immigration consultant or lawyer. Okay? Do your research, use your logic, and prepare for a long road to Canadian immigration. And of course, we're here to help. See everyone next Thursday, YouTube Live, 11 a.m. local time, Toronto. Take care, everyone. Have a good one.